Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, but we are still at the same place and almost at the same time. It's a different environment, We are in the team room at Skydive Sebastian, and Rhythm is debriefing now, and who are sharing this training camp actually with SDC Core XP. And no XP, only SDC Core. Sorry, I take that back. Anyhow, we had a conversation last time at the USPA Nationals with Ryan and Jason. That was after a 20 plus something average at the USPA Nationals. A lot of things have happened in the meantime. And first of all, I'm glad that we have the whole team here this time with Stephanie, Dusty, and Jake. Okay. Well, Jason, maybe you can introduce the whole lineup a little with a few more details. Who is coming from what and where, and then we'll go into what's going on with Core at the moment.
Okay. Stephanie and I were both part of the team in Nexus in Dubai. And then when we came back to the US, we had a spot open up. We had a tryout for that spot. Dusty and Ryan were both part of that tryout, as well as a couple of other flyers. We ended up selecting Dusty for that spot, but it was a pretty tight race with the people that were involved. And so when we had another spot open up, we contacted Ryan, and he was still available and excited to take over that slot. Dusty and Jake have been tunnel instructors in Utah. Dusty's been there, I think, since the beginning, the very beginning of the Utah tunnel. Ryan was working at the Colorado tunnel for several years. We met while we were in Colorado, and when we had a need for a camera flyer, Dusty sort of put Jake forward as that slot, and he's worked out great. So I guess that's a little bit more detail.
By the way, who is this young man? Anyway, here.
This is our.
Stephanie, you can introduce your sixth team member.
Mia, she's team mascot. We don't go anywhere without her.
Can you say something?
She could.
Sometimes.
She's a little shy.
Okay, well, it sounds like almost everybody is a tunnel instructor here. In general, about VFS four-way, is it really kind of the case that you can become a sophisticated and high-level VFS competitor only if you're a tunnel instructor? Dusty, what do you think?
Obviously, a lot of tunnel time is required one way or another if you're going to be an instructor or if you're going to spend a lot of money at the tunnel. But to be a good VFS flyer requires a lot of tunnel time.
Jake, you were working at which tunnel was it?
I play Utah, Dusty actually.
Same.
Yeah.
So you're filming the team.
Yes.
Were you in front of the camera at some point?
No, actually not. This is my first competitive team I've been on, and I was just really honored and excited to be a part of this team and be able to shoot video for them.
But especially in VFS forward, to my understanding, the camera slot seems to be a very challenging one. Jason, what do you think?
For sure. I mean, I don't want to say anything negative about belly flying camera, but it's definitely not belly flying camera. Jake is really involved in understanding what we're doing on each and every point and block. He moves around constantly. There's hardly a skydive where he just sits still, and the exit is super challenging. It's a tough slot for sure.
Okay, let's get to the athletic part of the whole thing, because the NSL News, Sunpath Products NSL News is primarily always into the athletic part. All the other information is very interesting too, but we're talking numbers. So Ryan, I'm going to begin with you. Last time at the US Nationals, again, it was after a 20 plus average. Things have happened in the meantime. We have seen teams at the World Air Games, especially. You were not in Dubai, but I'm sure you were observing the competition.
Yeah, there was a lot of good competition out there. I believe it was Evolution ended up winning with a 17 point something average, coming off, which is a strong showing, coming off of I believe it was a year that they hadn't been training. So looking pretty strong.
And the French team was there, and there was a Dubai team, and the French team, the Dubai team, the British team, a British team. Is there any I mean, 20 plus at the USBA Nationals, 18 not even at the World. Is there any competition for you, Steph?
Well, there's, a lot of months between now and the World Meet, so they can do a lot of tunnel, they can do a lot of jumps, and we as Nexus went from a 14-point average team to over 20-point average team in a little less than a year. So for sure, it's never over till it's over. Like I don't think we have it in the bag.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess that's always true that the fat lady things last. But how do you see the competition? Do you think Evolution is doing four-way belly and four-way VFS? Do you think that it's possible at all to get to your level if you do both events? Dusty, what do you think?
To be honest, I admire them for doing both events. I think that'd be very challenging. I'm just focused on our team and what we're doing and trying to complete our goal. So.
And in only one event. What's the plan for this year, Jason? Training plan, competition?
We're trying to go as many competitions as we can. We have at least one training camp scheduled every month. Sometimes we don't have much of a break. We go to the tunnel or we come back in less than a month. But basically trying to get Dusty and Jake and Ryan some really good competition experience before we get to the World Meet.
Shall we include a VFS forward competition at the Shamrock Showdown again? I remember last year you came visiting quickly because you wanted competition and judges especially.
We would really like to come, and as of now it's on our calendar. I'm just getting started working with the Golden Knights, and I plan on insisting that there you go. We're going to try to get Evolution to join us. So again, just trying. It was great to be judged last year, but it's never quite the same when we're the only team there. We'd like to have some other teams there.
Yeah, well, great. The Golden Knights are coming with a rather large delegation anyway. So do the French. So if we get in touch with them, who knows? Maybe Monsieur le Professeur, you can bring your team over too. What do you think about the French team? I mean, you have seen it and observed it. Is Philippe Journeau is he going to be able to bring them up to speed?
I think that he knows that he's in a rebuilding year and perhaps a rebuilding World Meet. The talk at the World Cup was that one of the members was no longer going to continue on that team, and that one of the members of Full Patat was going to join, and that would probably constitute a much faster team from the minute that he steps on. So
is he a former Team for Speed member?
No, the Full Patat was the second team in France when For Speed was competing, and they were a very strong team. I think 15 or 16 average. It was my understanding the team didn't want to take the place of For Speed, but I think he kind of did. So if there's a slot open, I think he's going to step onto the team, which will make them a better team.
Okay, well, good information, great information. Thank you very much, SDC Core, and I look forward to meeting you again in a few months in Deland for the Shamrock Showdown. Thanks.
Great.